collaborative work is something I've done a lot of, but a few years ago, and that for about the last 2 years I've been working mainly on my own. So for me, actually, these 2 weeks is a really good opportunity to kind of find a way back in to that process, working with other people, from having kind of consciously isolated myself.
And I like these moments, you know, what's going on then, what you are conscious, how it's working, your brains, or what are you thinking when you are dancing?
I find that the most desirable thing for me is simplicity in form, in line, in theme, in everything, and I can't achieve it. I try a lot, but everything comes out like this.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's nice. Sorry for that. Oh, I like this.
The thing that interests me a lot is doubt and hesitation and discontinuity. Maybe.
My intention here is to try another experience with another areas. So normally we just have space to do the performance, to do the piece. So we go there to the theater and put the spots, and we don't have time for anything else. So here I hope we can try another areas too.
If I equals I, if Y equals you, if W equals we, if H equals home, then we have first row, right side, I to within Y of marked pair, W2 tog, single stitch, 1H, 1H, H, H, I, Y, Y, I to end.
The dark areas became a swimming pool, and so that left the face to come through or the hands to come through.
So I'm interested to know what happens in that. And I'm quite nervous about it as well, I think.
But the logic is that
You are always in the corner.
if you lost yourself, when you hear that, it means that the third time it's for you.
Step back a little bit from yourself and say, now that's a really obvious decision for me to make, to go zooming towards that skill or that book or that, you know, whatever. I must really look at maybe pushing my edges a bit more, opening my head a bit more, and trying out a few things that perhaps you're even really scared of, things that this is a very safe environment to try those things out.
Listen to what I am doing, see if I can go further, if I can play with the intensity of the sound, or if I can put it low.
Butterfly Effect Network, when we're choosing everybody that comes, it's a huge process. We look at age groups, we look at cultural backgrounds, we look at the experience that people have had, we look at trying to get a complete mix across many different things. We look at difference in style. You'll find very clearly from today there are people here who are really movement researchers, and there are people here who have had a lot of dance experience and are very good on the technical side. We've pulled in really special people to work on everything, and there are going to be differences that come up. And really what we usually say is respect the differences and enjoy the debate. It's not necessarily arguments, it's debate that happens. And sometimes quite strong opinions come up.
The sounds A or U, just feeling your chest, and then use the consonants Z and V to help the sound being projected.
I would like to try to lead or to teach a voice movement class one of these mornings.
Breakthrough languages, you know, you can show someone an image and it can mean so much to people all over the world. You don't have to understand each other through talking. I don't like words too much. I prefer visual images.
This is not me. This is not me. This is not me.
We have 4 studios. We have the resource centre, which was for the resource uses. We have Studio 1, which is the big one with the setup, lighting, video and sound setup. The dance school where you know now, where you were this morning. And the 2 across the fields, the gym and the hexagon. And of course there's a lot of outdoor spaces.
I'd like to see like running, like going to the cow and then coming back.
Oh. From here?
Yes.
Okay, right, ready? Together or one behind each other?
Together. Keep the rhythm together. I asked them to run.
Well, he said that we've got to a stage now where the body is a complete limitation and we have to go forward into technology. I mean, I totally disagreed with that. There's so much to find out and discover ourselves now. If we go along that line, then we're going to cut off, you know, the whole of that potential experience.
This forum has been set up so that 50% of the focus is practical work and 50% of the focus is kind of critical debate. And each year we tend to choose between 1 or 2 major themes. And we choose them on the basis of the fact that they're topical, you know, they're kind of interesting subjects for now, and also relevance to the people here. And that hopefully enabling it to have quite a lively and fun debate.
This technology that we're going to look at uses ultrasound. You see, and I didn't think I did anything then.
Can everybody come in a bit? Because it's a bit like we're all pulled out a bit. Great. So, we're just going to go around the group and just get some general ideas into the middle. And as we go, Miran's going to write some stuff down. And later, during lunch, we'll put it up on the board. And then we'll come back. We will need to come back after lunch today.
Chicken and ham pie, this is 3 cheese pasta. No, or you want a baked potato?
What else would you like?
We're talking about maybe meeting some Alexander, and but in a quite small group.
Great.
And sort of combining that with maybe doing some Klein too, and we're talking about how Alexander works with tension and compression, just how the differences between those 2 things. Really open in your lower back. So you imagine that you're actually pushing against the wall, so you go down.
Because I study both, and there is like a war in New York between these 2.
It's quite interesting.
And there are people that really follow the Klein, some people follow Alexander, some people do both, and they don't say each other.
At some stage, if anybody would be interested in doing sort of an 8-hour work of some description. I don't know what that would be yet, but to like do a piece that lasted for a long time. Imagine you are in a restricted place. What kind of space is this? Is this space thin? Is it small? Is it tall? Is it a box? What's the temperature? Is it hot? Is it cold? Can you actually breathe in that space? How does your body feel in relationship to the floor, to the walls, if there are any walls, if there's windows? What is the texture? So you'll have 2 hours in your space. If at any point you need to come out of your space, then please do come out and like maybe have a rest or something, or maybe you want to just like stop what you're doing and just sit in your space. I don't want people to get freaked out by this.
I'm falling at an angle head first. I arch my head back and the top of my torso hits the ground first. My arms have been twisted. I'm in the middle of a road.
My fear is so extreme. I would like to kill.
Leaning against a wall, cold steel surfaces, cold tiled floor, traffic outside, urinals flushing, distorted voices, echoes, sounds through the doors.
We were dealing with what it was like living in Britain in the 1990s. And so essentially a big part of the thing about family was from this piece, which I made from a recording of my family around the breakfast table. Using an everyday ritual, which we've chosen to be breakfast.
Based on the upper part, on the upper body, the arms, the head, and was maybe a link with breakfast.
Anyway, first off this afternoon from 2:30 to 4:30 is the Europe discussion.
Many times it happens that they needed to be recognized outside, to be recognized inside the country.
I feel like having no identity, but there is something very strong back there. I mean, the sea, for example, is the most important thing for me, and the sea, even the smell.
It's by meeting people that are different from us, or by facing situations of difference, that we can actually grasp our own identity.
And the recognition of that whole thing about ideas being very much of a time and happening in many places at once in slightly different ways, but how that fascinates me, how around the world those things, they come about because of a time, because of a feeling, rather than because of particular people moving ideas, but because of an atmosphere.
I'm especially interested in video work, and would like to try out some things with projection, like probably also on the floor, on the wall.
There's about touch and communication in there as well. Work with a head and a hand and some stuff on a wall in a light.
What I try to do is to take, not to have the control of the situation, to have a vision and try to make people responsible for what they are going to do. So I just dropped a pebble and they had to make a whole thing. I took set gestures from his introduction day, and I gave them the gestures that they became mine as soon as I took them out of the video. I said to them, your theme is fragility, as you perceive fragility, and they had to do something, and I had to place them, to space them, to say what they're going to do, what's the sequence of what they're going to do.
Last night we did a writing project, and which was all about getting physical presence in that space, and now I've asked them to individually go away and create a 5-minute piece. We're using the corridor. 6 others will have the lights on from their rooms, and what I've got from this space is the idea maybe of a hotel or some sort of, I'd quite like this kind of undercurrent of something has happened here, but I don't know what it is.
And they view it from down there?
Yeah.
Do you want a lighter? Yeah, we all stand here like lemons.
It now begins to snow. Snow is falling in the corridor. The big flakes. It begins to fall onto the table, onto the object, and onto yourself. You take the object and hold it to protect it from the snow.
The keys would happen, and then somebody would run, and then Kate comes out, and then Annis moves, so it starts to kind of layer a bit. And I think also within this structure we can play with it too, that it's not that you might want to like open your door and look out of it, or you might want to, that you can still improvise around
this structure,
but just be sensitive that things are going on.
The last 18 months I've been working on I started using equipment. Point of reference in terms of the body have allowed me to understand
I'm very interested on how the people's perception of the body is changing in the Western culture, and how they work on their bodies and how that can affect their minds. And all this crossover with technology, image and sound and everything. So what is real and not real, what is manipulated or not. try to build up mind states and emotional states, and just trying to put it together like through a cut-up structure.
Me and Kate decided to work together just on interest of medical and medication.
It's so strange. It's such a strange feeling.
Looking at the idea of the theatre and surgeons, the operating table and operating theatre.
How is this?
Placing the medical onto our lighting kind of observations and research into that.
There's just kind of moments where you feel your hair singeing on your head and you just think, I mean, it's so hard.
Then there's like one that's maybe here. So but then, maybe I work on the floor or something with the head or something and just like...
Really kind of, yes.
So I can actually be somebody who I'm not, and that's what I find quite interesting in terms of physical presence. I don't see me as being me, I see myself as more of a body actually demonstrating these actions, more of a body actually demonstrating these actions.